Yes. From now, then at this time, I am going to explain about what is all about the being a missionary in Africa. Okay. First of all, the kind of activities that I am doing, and second of all, I am going to explain about spiritually as a minister and as a missionary, what I have learned in my heart. I'm going to share about that. Currently, actually, I didn't even introduce myself. My name is Yohan Kim. In Kiswahili, my name is Yohana Kimani. Yes. My name is? Yes, Yohana Kimani. Kimani is a local name. It's like a local family name. The tribe people called Kikuyu. And it's one of the large tribe. Firm one. The farm one. I guess I'm the farm one. I'm not sure. Yes. So my name is Yohan Kim in Kiswahili, Yohana Kimani. And now I went there in the year 2009 and been missionary in this place for now 9 years. This is my 9th year staying in Kenya. And I have 2 kids. And even my 2 kids, they were all born in Kenya. And I have my wife there. Of course. That's how I got the kids, right? Yes. And my wife, she's here in the back. Yes. Yes. She's my wife. And when you come to Kenya, Kenya Good News Mission, the church, Kenya is actually the headquarters for East Africa. And also in Africa, in our mission, we have the largest structure and most active mission in Kenya. So even any other countries, right now, Kenya being the headquarters, Kenya has a lot of activities. Now I'll be explaining to you. And also when you see this building, now this is about 6 acres of land. And there's a huge building there. And this is inside. On Sunday, about 700 to 800 Kenya brothers and sisters, we gather together and we share the word of God together. And then we also have about 40 different branch church. So we have our branch church all over Kenya. So once you come and visit Kenya, you can have a tour of all these 40 churches. Sawa. Yeah. All you gotta do is buy your airplane ticket and just come to my house here, right? Yes, if you come over here, then I will arrange your transportation, your food, the food called ugali, gideri. Yeah, it's all from like omena and chapati, okay? Anyways, you probably don't know what I'm talking about right now. Yes, once you come over there, you understand. So there are about 40 different branch churches, and you can have a tour of all these churches and also do the ministry and also preach the gospel together. Sawa. All right. And this is one of our church in a place called Kajiado. Yes, Kajiado. Kajiado is a village for Maasai. Everyone have ever heard about tribe people called Maasai? Yes. Maasai people. I think also one of these keychain has a picture of Maasai. Maasais, and many of them, they still, even until today, dress traditionally. Many of them. And then still hunt and still fight with the spear and the arrow and hunt for their food. And this is the village where many people of tribe of Maasai lives, Kajiado. And there we have our church. And this is a small church, but now we are about to finish construction. And one by one, we are also doing the construction in our church as well. What kind of activities do we do? Very recently, actually last year in the year 2017, he is Commissioner General of Kenya Prisons Service. In Kenya, we have 119 prisons. 119. I don't think you have to say wow, because I think in America there are even much more, right? Maybe 4 or 5 times more than Kenya. Yes. In Kenya, we have 119 prisons. And then we made MOU together with, he's the highest person in Kenya prisons. And then he even visited Korea. He even visited Korea and listened to the mind lecture and received the training for 1 whole week. And then after receiving the training, he said that, we really need this mind training in the prisons. Because before Kenya, prisons is like a place where you punish the sinners. You understand, right? But also now America has changed its name also to correctional facilities or something like that. So also in Kenya, following the whole world and also because of UN, now prison is not like a place where you punish the sinners. I mean, they do, I think, secretly. But what they do is they try to change the people. Yes, transforming them. But the reason why our Commissioner General, he has completely bought the idea of mind lecture is because in his prison, there was this one man who was called transformed. So in Kenya prisons, if you're transformed, right, you don't put on zebra clothes. You put on purple clothes, top and bottom, purple, different clothes, because you are changed. You are a good prison inmate. That's what it means. Yes, rehabilitated, and he's completely changed. But now, the reason why he felt that mind lecture is very important in the prisons is because that person got discharged from the prison, but in 8 days, he murdered 8 people, and he is still on the run. They still could not catch that person. So because of that, it really gave him a lot of wounds in his heart because he knew him so well, and then he really trusted him. But as soon as he left, he murdered 8 people, and he's still running away. So that's why when he heard about mind lecture, he said, this is it. In order for somebody to change, your heart has to change. That's why he signed the MOU. And then this is a prison called Committee Maximum Security Prison, which means in Kenya, Committee Maximum Prison, everyone knows. Our Kenyan pastors, you all know Committee? Yes. Committee Maximum Security Prison is the place the most worst criminal goes there. Like all terrorists, you can find them there. All the terrorists, they are there, and all the murders are there. One time I went there and then I gave my lecture, right? And then there were some very good inmates who were seated there. So I thought as I was talking, I want to talk to that person after I finished my lecture. So after I finished my lecture, I went to that person. So when is your term going to finish? Once you get discharged, let's work together. And then he said, I am here for the rest of my life. I said, I'm sorry. There was also now another person, who was listening so carefully. So I asked that person, how are you? How was the lecture? It was so nice. When are you getting discharged? Once you get discharged, I want to work together with you. I will teach you this. And then you go to all the prisons and then you give my lecture. And then he said, I am life sentenced. I asked another person. He also says, I am life sentenced. So I realized that in this prison, they're all such people actually goes here. But they listen so well. So now, after signing the MOU, now this is the plaque. And to mark that this is the classroom. Right? This is the classroom. And now in Committee Maximum Security Prison, we launched the program for mind lecture, and also we launched the program for theology. Because also Commissioner General and us, so we believe that mind lecture and also accurately having the heart of Jesus Christ can change a person. Everyone, do you all believe so? Yes. That's why we started the program at Committee Maximum Security Prison. This is a theology class in the prison. This is a theology class. I mean, this is the church, but it's a church building, but we are going to use this as a theology school. So we even put the banners, and we are doing the classes in this place right now. So here, Pastor Kim Gi-sung, he is also praying for the blessings. And we even went to, after signing the MOU, we went to Ruiru Prison Wardens College. So right now, these are about 3,000 people. You see how they're seated? 3,000 wardens who are receiving the training in the Wardens College. We also signed the MOU together with them so that starting from the wardens, they change their mindset. They also truly receive salvation. And with that heart, now they get dispatched to prisons and also preach the gospel there as well. So now, gradually, our goal is to open our mind lecture course and theology in all 119. Up until now, we opened only 3. How many? 3. Now, as soon as I go back, we need to open, I think, 1 a day. Then who is going to go there and give theology lectures and also mind lecture? Who has to do that? Yes, in Kiswahili, we say wewe. Wewe means you. You understand, right? So you also come to Kenya and then become theology lecturers and also mind lecturers, giving them mind lecture and also bringing change inside of their hearts. This is also one of our missionary in Kenya. His name is Sim. And Sim, he has gone to Kitengela prison and also given a mind lecture. This is also Ati River Prison, and he is the head in charge of Ati River Prison. And we gave a mind lecture and also preached the gospel there. And regularly, twice a week, we are going to this prison right now, and then we are continuously preaching the gospel. And people are receiving salvation. Next year when I come, I will bring their testimonies, right? So that you can also see it. If possible, I will even do the video recording of their testimony, but I need to cover their face, right? I cannot release their face, but I will do it like that. Also, this is also another prison, and also right now I am giving my lecture. Can you see me here? Yes, I'm giving my lecture here. Yes, they're listening very carefully, right? Yes. Not only that, in order for us to continuously penetrate into prisons to preach this gospel, we felt that, first of all, the high officials in Kenya Prison Service, such as directors, assistant directors, and managers, they're the ones who has to first receive salvation. Actually, this is Madame Florence. Now her heart was completely open. And then last year, July, he met Pastor Oksu Park, and she heard the gospel and she received salvation. Ever since, she is pushing us to open and launch this theology and mind lecture course in prisons right now. So at the prison's headquarters, we went and given the mind lecture to all the directors as well. Now, so we are actively also preaching the gospel in Kenya prison service. But not only that, you see this green uniform? This uniform? Now, this place is called NYS. National Youth Service. In Korea, all men, when you are age between 20 and 23 or 25, you got to join army, right? In Korea. But now in Kenya, it's not a mandatory program, but in Kenya, so many people, they are poor. They're difficult. So after graduating from the secondary school or high school, now they don't have money to go to college or university. So from the government, they formed National Youth Service. And then after forming the national universities, they teach them on paramilitary training. They teach them how to keep the security in the society. And they also give them mindset change program. And also, once you finish this basic training, you will receive a training such as like, what do you call it? Carpentry, right? Or driving a truck, right? Yeah, masonry, building, mechanics, engineering, dressmaking, all those kind of schools are here. And so after you receive this training, you can go there and also learn the skills, and then they will help you get a job. So they have the kind of a paramilitary training for youth. So we also signed the MOU together with the highest person of NYS, National Youth Service, Director General. And then we started to give mind lecture and preach the gospel to them as well. Now, this is the training facility. This is right now, do you know how many there are? You cannot see the end, right? Right now, there are 15,000 National Youth Service trainees are seated here. Every Saturday I go, when you go, they only have 2 speakers. Maybe double the size of this, only 2 speakers outside. Because since I'm giving my lecture from outside, I cannot use PowerPoint or anything. But in verbally, I preach the gospel and I give a mindset training every Saturday. Every Saturday is about 2.5 hours away from my place. I go there and give them my lecture, and I always go there and preach the gospel. Already, the first group of people, they have already graduated, and then they're already all dispatched because they have NYS bases all over the country. One time I visited headquarters, and then as I was driving, the NYS soldiers who were keeping the gate, they said, "Oh, is that Kimani? Is that Kimani? Is that Kimani?" And I heard that, right? And then I said, "I am Kimani." "Yes, I remember you, mind the lecture." I was like, "Yes." Imagine 15,000 per semester. So they are receiving these people 2 times a year. So in 1 year, I can preach the gospel to 30,000 youth. Hallelujah. Is that right? Now, who has to do that work? I can't do all that work, right? Yes, way. For you, you say Mimi. Okay, say Mimi. Yeah, that means me. You understand, right? Yes, we preach the gospel together. So now, these people will go to all over the country and preach the gospel. Now, not only that, in Kenya, in our mission, we have a TV station. This is a local, real TV station, not for our mission. So this is one of the top five largest broadcasting station in Kenya. You go anywhere, you turn on TV, you can see GBS. GBS is also located in the same facility of our church. And then we even received in the year 2014 one of the best broadcasting award as well. Why did we establish a GBS TV station? Of course, number one reason is for us to preach the gospel. Amen? Yes. So through the TV station, we wanted to preach the gospel. And currently, GBS is being broadcasted all over Kenya. And we can't count even how many people are hearing this gospel each and every day. So if you know how to speak English, you got to come and do your broadcasting here. Raise your hand if you want to do that. No one? Yes, I hope you prepare, right? You prepare about 50 series of sermon, 50, okay, series of sermon. You come and do the recording, will air for you. Sawa? All right. So these are the staffs who are working in TV station to preach the gospel. This is also one of the control room inside the TV station. Yes, inside the TV station. Actually, our GBS TV station is the first TV station to go on digital in Kenya. Before, about 9 years ago, it's been about 9 years ago since its establishment. 9 years ago, everything was analog also in Kenya. But GBS TV station was the first TV station to go on digital. You go to Kenya, everyone knows about GBS. I also preach on GBS, right? And then when I go to town and offices to do the work, right? I think I've seen you somewhere. Yes, I think you saw me, but I didn't see you. Yes. Not only that, through TV stations, we also want to help also those people who need our help. So we have a program called Care and Delight. This is one of the famous TV programs that we have. And this TV program is the only TV program that is remaining in our TV studio until this time for many, many years. Why? Because it's very famous. What we do, we capture the difficult situation and stories of such a people like this. Right now, when you look, this child has an eye problem, right? But this is a problem which can be solved if you have $1,000. But now, because she doesn't have $1,000, she could not do anything for her child. So she brought this story to GBS, and then we aired this GBS, and now this baby is completely healed. Yes. You see this lady? her tumor began to grow in her nose like this. She's a young lady. She's not married even. But now she didn't have just a couple of money. It doesn't cost a lot of money to do this kind of operation in Kenya. But because she did not have that money, she came to also GBS, and she also gave her a story and received sponsorship through the viewers. Yes, so in Kenya, we have phone banking. So through the phone, you can send small money. So through that, she was also able to receive operations as well. I'm sorry, when you look at this child, this baby, yes, she had a problem there. The tumor also began to grow there. But now, through Care and Delight program, they were able to raise the money. And then she's healed. Yes. For this little baby, there was an infection, especially in Africa countries. There is a lot of infections. So now, when this, actually in the beginning, it was a small hole. But then she didn't have 100 shilling, that is $1. Because she didn't have $1, she could not put the medication. That's why this infection began to grow bigger and bigger and bigger. Later on, he was almost at the verge of amputating a leg in such a young age. But now, through this boy was able to raise money and receive some treatment. Not even operation, just the treatment. And then now, he's also very fine. She's the mother. Yes. So through GBS, the TV station, yes, we also collect money to help these people who are in difficult situation. When you go to Kenya or even any other Africa countries, those who live very well, they live very well. You will see Toyota, Land Cruiser, Prado, Mercedes-Benz, even Ferrari. You can see it in Kenya. But when you are poor, you are so poor, you don't even have a single dollar to support and help other people. So GBS, we want to come into the society, work together with them, support them, and help them. So you can also support GBS as well. If you support just a few money, just don't drink 1 cup of coffee, you understand, right? Then you can save even a single person's life there. So I hope you continuously pray for GBS mission as well. Other than that, in GBS, we have many good programs, such as preaching programs, right? Also through preachings, we are not supporting them by physically or giving them money or materialistically, but we are giving them a full spiritual support of their heart. Also in our church, there are so many people who listen to the gospel through GBS TV and they're coming to our church. So I hope you can also come to the 50 sessions of recording, preach the gospel through the TV as well. Now, also in Kenya, we have Mahanaim International High School. Mahanaim, it comes out in the book of Genesis. It means God's camp. So this is a Christian international high school teaching the British curriculum. And we have Kenyan and also Korean students currently studying in that school. Through this school, we also wanted to preach the gospel to these youngsters and the students as well. So we had speech contests. Also, we teach them the mindset of serving other people. And also giving, you see me here right now? Yes. Giving them a mind lecture to have a strong mind, self-control, change, and challenge. That's why right now we are hoping and praying that these youngsters will grow of having the right mindset and then also lead the country with a God-fearing heart. So that's why we established this school. However, there are also many youngsters, many. Currently at this time, as we speak here, 2/3 of high school going aged students, right now they're at home, working in the field because they're so poor they don't have money to go to school. How much per semester? We are talking about maybe $30, $40. Because per semester, we're talking about 3 months. 3 months, just about $30, $40, but because they don't have that money, they cannot go to school. You can ask our Kenya pastors here. They cannot go to school. So through this school, we also wanted to have a scholarship foundation so that we can also help these students as well. Not only high school, in that building, we also have a Mahanaim Education Institute, the college. Through this college, we also teach youngsters the computer programs, and also we have about 7 or 8 different kind of majors: hospitality, tourism, electricity, and engineering, and language courses, computer courses. So many courses are being taught in this college, and every day, 300 to 400 students to come into this church to come and learn, and also every day they need to listen to mind lecture and also the Bible. You understand, right? So for the education, we call them to come, we teach them, and we also preach the gospel to them as well. Yes. You see, right now this is college, Bible class. Bible class, I am preaching the gospel to them right now. Yes. Yes, actually also other than that, we have IUIF branch also in Kenya, Nairobi. And through that, every year in July, we host IUIF youth camp. And during the youth camp, we about 3,000 to 4,000 youth gather together. And that time, Reverend Oxo Park, he comes and he preached the gospel, and so many people also receive salvation as well. Actually, other than these, there are so many other missions, and that I would like to also partner together with many pastors from different parts of the world, and also do this work of giving them mind lecture and preaching the gospel in the prisons, right? And also in the schools, and also in college, and also universities, and also in the churches as well. So I hope you can all make a special time to come and visit, first of all, right? And see how Kenya is, how we can work in partnership together, how we can go in the same direction of only preaching the gospel according to the Bible. Everyone, amen? Yes. Actually, now, because of time, I also wanted to give my small testimony or experience of what it was like, actually what I learned, and what kind of heart is most important to become a missionary. Actually, not long ago, I had a back problem. My back was hurting so much. I didn't know the reason why. Actually, as you see, I look young, right? Yes, I am young. I am very young. Yes. So I should be running around. But then last year, about this time, my back began to hurt. It was hurting so much. So I went to, in Kenya, I searched for the place where they can give me physical therapy. So our church brothers and sisters, they searched for the best doctor for the physical therapy. He came to my house, and then he gave me a physical therapy. Is there anyone who received the physical therapy before? It's killing you. It's like, taekwondo stretching your leg, right? It's like that painful. So painful. But still, I held it back, and then I received physical therapy for 3 days. But imagine, it was only getting worse. So I was so sick, and I really could not do anything. So now later on, I asked our church brothers and sisters, is there any good way that I can solve this issue and problem? And then they told me, in Kenya, there is this one Chinese doctor who's really good at giving acupuncture. You know acupuncture, right? So now I went to the Chinese doctor and received acupuncture. After receiving acupuncture, as I was coming out of the hospital, I was almost dragging my leg. Actually, it became worse. So I was now lying on the bed, not knowing what to do. And then some people asked me to search for a hospital. When I searched for the hospital in Nairobi, there was a back injury specialist hospital. Oh, I didn't know that there was a special hospital only for back. So I went to that hospital. And I took an x-ray, and they told me that you don't have any back problem. It's okay. So just to receive physical therapy again. So I told them, I already received physical therapy. Why do I have to receive this physical therapy again? And then she said, this is different. So when I went to their facility, they really had a good equipment, right? And then with the equipment, they give me a physical therapy. I went there 3 times. Still, it didn't work. Now, I told our pastors to look for me a best doctor for back, because we also have these good news medical volunteer activities, right? So we do a lot of medical activity also in Kenya. So this one pastor, he knew many doctors. So finally, we found one doctor who was specialized in back treatment. So I went to the doctor, and then he told me, since you have tried everything, now I think the problem must be an infection on my backbone. So he has given me a medication, antibiotic. So I took that antibiotic for 2 weeks. But finally, it worked a little bit. But after the medicine ran out, the pain began to come back again. So I went back to the doctor. So when I had explained about the situation, the doctor, he told me, all right, then try a stronger antibiotic. So I tried stronger antibiotic. But still, it didn't work. Now, throughout this time, as I was trying everything like this, about 1 month had passed by. By that time, now, like I said, I was dragging my leg and I couldn't even stand. I was always just lying on the bed. I really did not know what to do. Finally, that doctor told me, okay, Pastor, why don't you go and take MRI? So I went and took an MRI. So when I brought the MRI picture, you see this is is it L4 here? L4 here. Anyways, one of these is L4 and one of these is L5, right? But the disc in between L4 and L5, it slipped out. So all this black, it's a nerve. It's a sense, right? But then this disc began to fall out, and then it began to choke on the sense, the nerves, right? So as much as it was pressing on the nerves, my right leg was getting paralyzed. A better picture. Oh, L4 is here and L5. And in between the disc, you see this disc, right? It's a pretty round shape, isn't it? Yes. But then this one, it has fallen out like this. And then this is the nerve system, and then it was choking on the nerves. That's why my right leg was getting paralyzed. That's why although I went to Chinese doctor, it didn't work. I took antibiotics, it didn't work. I received physical therapy, it didn't work. In that hospital, as the doctor was showing me this picture, there was me, myself, and 2 other pastors. All 3 of us, as soon as we saw this picture, we all realized that, this one, you must receive operation. As we had expected, the doctor said, if the disc has fallen out like this much, he said, you must receive operation. I asked, how much is the operation in your hospital? He said, $10,000 US. I'm a missionary. I don't have that money. I said, I'm sorry, but it's $10,000 US. You know, especially the back spine and these things is very sensitive, right? So I was so worried and discouraged. So I called Korea and I wanted to speak to Pastor Park. And then I could not get in touch together with him, but later he had called me around at 2 a.m. How did I pick the phone at 2 a.m.? I couldn't sleep because of pain. So I woke up at 2 p.m. and I picked his phone. Hello? Yes, Pastor Park, how are you? Yes, I heard that you are sick. What's wrong? And I began to explain all this process, right? I tried this, it didn't work. I tried that, it didn't work. I tried this, it didn't work. Pastor, the doctor told me that I need to receive an operation. Oh, really? If you are going to receive operation, isn't it better for you to come to Korea and receive operation? So I said, yes, of course. I was so happy, right? Because as a missionary, you cannot just go back to your home country and come back however you want. So now I got the ticket, right, to go. All right, yes, of course, I want to come to Korea and receive the operation. All right, then come when you can come. I was like, what do you mean when you can come? I'll come now. So I was about to hang up the phone, but he said, by the way, Yohan, yes, Pastor, Right now, do you know this equipment called kokuri? Everyone, do you know equipment called kokuri? Yes, kokuri is this one. This one, you stand up, you put your leg here, and then you press down and then like lock your ankle, right? And then it flips you upside down. Everyone, do you have, not everyone, Yohan, do you have kokuri? I said, yes, Pastor, I have kokuri. Because that time, I asked one brother, what can I do? And then he said, yes, Pastor, if you have kokuri, then do kokuri, then it's really nice. I searched all Kenya, and then I barely found one. So I went, and I quickly bought it and came, and then I've already tried it for 3 days. Do you think it worked? It didn't work. It didn't work. But now, Pastor, he was telling me, Yohan, do you have kokuri? Yes, Pastor, I heard that kokuri is good, so I tried it already. Oh, really? Yohan, do kokuri. No, Pastor, I tried. Yohan, do kokuri. If you do kokuri, think about this, Yohan. When you are now put upside down, the spine which used to be pressed down because of your body weight, right? Now when you're upside down in the air, the spine is going to stretch. While you are upside down like this, you do a sit-up. Sit-up like this. If you do sit-up, then the spine is going to bend like this. Sinyo? No. Is that right? Yes. The spine is going to bend like this. When the spine bends, then imagine the disc which has slipped out, it will be easier for it to go back to its position. Yohan, try that. In my heart, I really wanted to tell him, Pastor Park, I already tried 3 days. It didn't work. But then I just kept it. I didn't say it, and I just said, yes, Pastor. All right, then try kokuri, okay? Goodbye. And then he hung up the phone. As soon as I hung up the phone, I went to kokuri, and then I did kokuri. 1, 2, 3, 4. I did 3 sets of kokuri and sit-ups as I was upside down. The next day I woke up. Imagine what happened. Do you think I was healed, or do you think I would be still the same? My pain, which it was now making my even right leg to be paralyzed, 70% of the pain was gone. I was so happy. Yes, God is working. But throughout that whole day, I did kokuri. The next day, I woke up. Imagine that 70% of the same pain came back again. I was thinking, yeah, that's right. It doesn't work. I told you, kokuri doesn't work. I've tried it already. But then, servant of God is the one who told me to kokuri, right? So, whether the pain came back again, I continuously tried kokuri. And then, I began to continuously hear, I recorded that phone conversation, right? Hear, that phone conversation. I tried, and then what can you do on the bed? You can't do anything. So if you're sleepy, you sleep. You just stand up a little bit and eat, sleep, do kokuri, eat, sleep, and do kokuri. The whole day I did it like that. The next day I woke up. 70% of the pain gone again. I was so happy. From that day, the pain had completely disappeared without receiving operation. And as you see, I am standing in front of you, giving this testimony and also singing together with you as well. Actually, everyone, being a missionary, now you are out there in another country. Difference of culture, difference of food, even difference of temperature. Actually, it is not easy maybe sometimes physically. Also, in such a country like Africa, they don't have all the medicine and that you need, right? Sometimes it's difficult to get specific medication. And even if you have such kind of problem, now, it's not easy for you to receive a treatment in Africa sometimes. However, that time, I believe that through this, I was able to learn how important it is for you to be connected together with the servant of God. You understand what I mean, right? You are there, anything that can happen. You don't know what's going to happen in your life. You can even also catch malaria. Actually, on Friday, one missionary is going to come out and give you his testimony, how he survived from that severe malaria. He almost died of malaria, but how he lived. You understand, right? Yes, in that situation, how are you going to come out of that situation? You understand what I mean, right? There's nothing that you can do. You can't say, Mom, help me, Dad, or help me, right? You cannot do anything. In that situation, what are you going to do? Actually, in this situation, I thought, I'm still young, but now I think I'm going to go handicap. But then when I had a phone conversation together with the servant of God, everyone, it is very important for your heart to be connected together with the servant of God and being able to receive that word the way it is. Actually, according to my own thoughts and experience, I've already tried Kokuri. I've already tried it. But did it work? It didn't work. But then I decided to throw away my thoughts and receive the word of the servant of God the way it is. Everyone, if you want to become a missionary, or if you are a missionary, one thing that I believe that it is very important, it is for you to possess the heart to receive. Receive what? Receiving the heart of the servant of God. When you look in the book of 2 Kings chapter 5, it is talking about Captain Naaman. Everyone, do you know the story about Captain Naaman? 2 Kings chapter 5. Now, Captain Naaman, now he stood before the servant of God, right? But, starting from verse 9, 2 Kings chapter 5, verse 9, it says, Then Naaman went with his horses and chariot, and he stood at the door of Elisha's house. And Elisha sent a messenger to him, saying, Go and wash in the Jordan 7 times, and your flesh shall be restored to you, and you shall be clean. Now, servant of God Elisha is telling General Naaman, telling him, Go and wash in the Jordan 7 times. But in his own heart, he had his own experience and his own thoughts. Is that true? Which verse explains about his thoughts? Verse 11, right? Let's read from 11. But Naaman became furious and went away and said, Indeed, I said to myself, He will surely come out to me and stand and call on the name of the Lord, his God, and wave his hand over the place and heal the leprosy. Are not the Abana and the Pharpar, the river of Damascus, better than all the waters of Israel? Could I not wash in them and be clean? So he turned and went away in a rage. Right now, servant of God Elijah came and gave him the answer, right? Hey, go to the river of Jordan and dip yourself 7 times. Then you'll be cleansed. But then he has his own thoughts and his own experience. Hey, I've already tried Kokuri, but it doesn't work. But why are you telling me to do this again? I had that thought, right? In the same way, Captain Naaman, he also had the thought, thinking, hey, this water is dirty. And not only that, he was together with his servants, right? In order for him to dip himself 7 times in the river of Jordan, what do you have to do? Yes, remove your armors, right? You have like a captain's rank, all, proud and everything, right? You need to remove your pride. You need to remove your rank. You need to also remove your thoughts. You need to remove your experience. Is that true? Yes, removing that armor, it means that. Everyone, in order for us to become a missionary, one mind that is very important is for you to have the heart to receive the word of the servant of God the way it is. But who can receive it? You can't receive it while you are having your armors on, right? You need to take it off. Take off your thought. Take off your experience. Is that true? Yes. When now everything is taken off, then now what is remaining? Only the leprosy in your body. You understand, right? Now that is the time that you're able to receive the word the way it is. I also tried everything. So in my thought and in my heart, I had the thoughts and my experience telling me that it's not going to work. I need to go back to Korea and receive operation. That fixed thought was inside of my heart. But then God, He has given me a grace to even to throw away that experience. Amen. Yes. To throw away that thought. To throw away that fixed thought and experience that I had. When I threw that away, the word of the servant of God came inside of my heart the way it is. If I kept that thought, let's say that this is a thought. I have already tried it, Pastor. If I had that thought, then because of this thought, the word probably could not come inside of me the way it is, right? This thought would have pushed away that word. But instead of throwing away the word, I decided to throw away my own thoughts, my own experience. When I threw that away, that word came inside of my heart. And then, Yohan, do kokuri. Yes, I tried kokuri. I tried 3 sets. The next day, 70% of the pain was gone. The next day I woke up, that 70% of the pain came back. However, because there is the word which I had received, I continuously also do kokuri. And from the next day, that 70% of the pain was gone. And from then, I became healthy. Even today, actually from Kenya to come here, I took a flight of just riding on the airplane, right? About 20 hours, was it? 5 hours and 17 hours. Yes, about 22 hours. Yes. But then my back is still fine. Although I run, my back is still fine. I lift the heavy stuff. This one, my back is fine. You understand, right? Yes. Everyone, I received that one word, and it has changed my life around completely. Everyone, this General Naaman, he was the one who, by this time, he's supposed to be a dead person, right? But now he's alive. He lives a new lives. Why? Because at first he said, hey, how am I supposed to enter into that dirty water of river of Jordan? He says, are not the Abana and Pharpar and the river of Damascus better than all the waters of Israel? What is that? That is his thought. Everyone, while you are being a missionary in another country, if you are trusting in your own thoughts, if you are trusting in your heart, then you cannot help but ruin your ministry. Because when you go to that ministry, there's so many different things that you don't know. You understand, right? But many people, because they trust in themselves, they think, hey, I know this. Also, being a missionary, I can also do this. You understand, right? And if you go to any other country with that heart of trusting in yourself, you are going to suffer and you are going to fail. And you are going to also hate that country too. You understand, right? But when you go out as a missionary with this one heart, throwing away your experience, throwing away your thoughts, and with the heart of receiving the word of God the way it is, and with the heart of receiving the heart of servant of God the way it is, whether it makes sense to you or not, you cannot help but go there and become a successful missionary. You go to Somalia. Somalia is very dangerous. In fact, no missionary can go there right now. Very dangerous. But even if you're left in the middle of Somalia, you can receive much blessings. God will help you. When you possess the heart of not trusting in yourself, but having the heart of receiving His heart the way it is. You understand what I mean? Actually, that's what I'm experiencing. Right now, this Kenya mission and also East Africa mission, preaching the gospel in the prisons, preaching the gospel in NYS to 15,000 youth every semester. That's a lot of work. Not only that, also a lot of work is also waiting ahead of us in Kenya. Not only Kenya, but also East Africa. We can't handle this work if it's just by me, right? But that heart which you are able to receive, the heart and the word of servant of God the way it is inside of you, that is the heart that is driving me. Amen? Yes. Everyone, if you learn that one heart, I believe that also each and one of you can also be the great missionary, whichever country that you go. You go to Kenya, you can be the best missionary. You go to Somalia, you be the best missionary. You go to Tanzania, be the best missionary. You go to any other also Muslim countries, so you will be the best missionary. What kind of a mindset and what kind of a heart? The heart to throw away your own thoughts and experience, and the heart to receive the heart and the word of the servant of God the way it is. That has also healed me, but that has also corrected and also changed my ministry as well. I am not experienced in ministry. As you see, I am very young. I don't know anything. I don't know the Bible very well as well. However, that one mindset of being able to receive the heart of the servant of God the way it is now driving the mission in Kenya. Instead, on the other hand, if you are the one who is experienced, then you would try to drive the mission yourself, right? Then you cannot help but fail. I'm telling you, this missionary work is not easy when you try to drive it. However, when you drive it with the heart which you had received, although you don't do anything, it works out automatically. Right now, I left that church and then I'm here for 2 weeks in America, right? But I'm not worried about that at all because I know that God, whom I received in my heart, is the one who is driving that, not me. Amen to you? Yes. So I hope that also all of you can learn that world of the heart through this conference. Then come to Kenya. I'll prepare, that building is pretty big. I got many empty rooms, all right? And then I'll give you, each and one of you, a single room, right? And then I'll prepare delicious Kenya traditional food, right? Ugali, beans and soup, and githeri, snake, crocodile. I'm sorry, yes, if there is anything like that. Yes, but ugali, right, and beans, githeri. Kenya food is very, very delicious. Actually, I wasn't like this. Usually, I'm very skinny, but I became fat right now. Actually, I was 70 kg, but now I am 80 kg. I gained 10 kg just by eating Kenya food. No Korean food, right? Yes, it's actually, yes? Lion food. Yes. So if you come also over there, I believe that you will also experience the works of God. Don't try to do the things that you have been doing until now, right? Try a new way and then rely on Him and then experience Him, okay? Thank you very much for coming to our Muslim and Africa Mission Academy. Tomorrow, I invited one missionary from Kazakhstan. And then he has been preaching the gospel in Muslim countries, right? So we are going to spend also some small amount of time to learn another Kiswahili song or Africa song, right? And then also that the missionary will come out and he's going to give also testimony what he has gone through and what it was like to become a missionary in Muslim countries. Once again, thank you very much. Welcome all of you to East Africa and Kenya, and hope to see you tomorrow again. Thank you very much.